Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 18 of the Locker Room Life podcast, brought to you by Buddy Hockey Club, Best Damn Tape, Cut Shield Hockey. So blessed to be here for another episode with my buddy, my brother, Logan Kuvo. First off, talk about life, what's going on in our world, and then we'll get into the amazing interview we have. Logan, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, it's been quite a whirlwind for this guy lately. I've been buzzing around everywhere. It was just in Arkansas, as I talked about last week. But, in the middle of trying to get all this Walmart stuff figured out and keep going through it, it's a really big learning experience for me, and I'm grateful for it. It's awesome. Frankie's been helping me every step of the way. And yeah, we're buzzing. It's really fun. And, going into the holiday season, we're already prepping for Black Friday, already prepping for, the holidays right around the corner.
Yeah, man, holidays, once it turns into Halloween, Thanksgiving, the year, goodbye. No, just wanted to touch on the action that we have been kind of going through on our side. So happy, so blessed, and so excited. It's so hard for us to not tell everybody because we want to keep that little element of surprise on the Locker Room Life podcast, but it's been so exciting. Just the support and the amazing people that have really reached out and want to be part of the mission that we're trying to build here. We're so humbled and we're so blessed to have everybody part of it. So again, amazing things happening, amazing things about to happen, and everybody's coming along for the ride. But AZ life, okay? Cooler temperatures on the horizon for me. I say it all the time, but it actually is happening. 80s. We're getting down to the 80s from the 120s. Calling that a win. Calling that a win for your guy. But I did head off this weekend to the surf park. We got a surf park here in Mesa, Arizona. Revel Surf Park. Shout out Revel Surf Park. No free ads, but hey, boys, go out there. These guys are killing it right now. Still don't know how this place stays in business because the maintenance costs on a water park, let alone a surf park that's running all year round, is nuts. But I miss the beach, dude. Living in California, just getting out there, being in the ocean, being in the water. So my buddy Matt, who lives out here as well, we went out to the surf park this weekend. It's cool. They got a little beach area. You can sit there, had a couple beverages, just had a little surf session. So had a little lunch after. I'm just kidding. No, super fun. Anything that replicates the ocean, you just change it up, right? Like it's all about doing different activities, changing things up. So it was cool, super fun, and had a blast. Another bone I needed to pick, Logan. Okay, I needed to bring this up on the pod because I had this noted for a while, but I want to talk about plane etiquette. There's a million things to talk about.
Plane/bus etiquette or just plane?
I'm just talking plane. Let's just talk plane for now, okay? I was on a flight recently. Pajamas at the airport. When you're showing up with your fuzzy slippers that are literally white, fuzzy, that you wear in the comfort of your own home to a public place like the airport, I have an issue with it, especially when the hair is supposed to be white, but is now dark brown. A lot of different liquids and certain materials that are attaching to it. Guys, seriously, leave the house shoes, leave the slippers, anything fuzzy at home. And whenever you're showing up with your one-piece pajamas as well, like let's throw some shorts on, some sweatpants. Let's keep it classy. This is a segment that's going to continue, but I had to bring it up. What are your thoughts on plane etiquette?
I've gotten a few pictures from Frankie over our time being friends of, just people on planes who do not have plane etiquette standards. We both travel a lot on planes, and it can be a really good experience or the worst experience of your life. That's really how I look at planes. And it has a lot to do with the people you sit next to and the people you are around. So there's a lot of different things. I've seen some crazy, crazy stuff. I've seen some cats on 16-hour flights. It just hits me with I'm not going to meow on actual recording, but oh my God, I can't believe he just did that. That's staying in literally just like that for 16 hours straight. And the cat is going to be okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people travel with animals, have all respect. Some people have to, but the people who don't have to, the cat is going to be okay. I promise. And that's what I'll end on.
Like I said, this is an open conversation, open to the comments, a segment that's going to continue because I know all of you out there that travel frequently, you see a lot of things. Let's start it up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's move into the segments. Logan, what do you got, bud?
Well, the Best Damn Breakdown, sponsored by Best Damn Tape. Really excited for this one. More excited for yours this week, though. But Calgary, they're not having the hot start to a season. But, long season, we say all the time, a lot of games left to play. There's been fan rumors, speculations about they're going for the hometown boy. And that hometown boy is Gavin McKenna, Nittany Lion, potential first overall pick. And, it's just interesting. We talked about it briefly, but I never think a team is trying to lose for that purpose. But it's just so crazy how the cards play out that way for Gavin McKenna to be, if that happens.
Listen, the world needs to let Gavin McKenna be a Nittany Lion, have fun at his first year in college, and develop his game. The crown is heavy for a guy like him, and the pressure, I get it. The conspiracy theorists are out there. There's another one of who owns the Sabres and who's associated with Penn State as well. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Pagulas. So there's a conspiracy theory about everything. The kid is going to develop leaps and bounds this year. Whatever he feels, I hope that whatever he feels is the best decision for himself at the end of this year. That's his decision he makes for himself. The hockey world's going to put enough pressure on himself, but I hope that that doesn't dictate the decision that he makes to really develop as a player. And as we know, when we talk to a lot of players on this podcast, that jump from each level and trying to fulfill the ultimate dream of playing in the NHL, every step, that change in game is so crucial that you have that maturation in the right way. We have a lot of guys that, that played Division I college, and that next step into pro, just it's a completely different mindset. It's a completely different world. And you would just hope, especially as players, that they take that time, be able to develop correctly and more mentally, right, Logan? It's the mental side of the game we talk about all the time is the most crucial piece. So I feel like with Gavin McKenna, let him breathe, man. Let him play. I saw him play. We talked about it in his first weekend. I thought that he was shades of what he can be. Is he what he is the best right now? I mean, the season's early. Let him breathe. Let him play. Let him grow. And I think that Penn State's the right location for him.
Yeah, it's a completely different style of hockey. A lot bigger guys, a lot older guys. It's a different thing for sure. But I think it parlays great into the next topic in, college area. There's been some crazy upsets. Lindenwood upsetting number 5 Denver, which is wild. And then also Augustana taking down ASU, number 15, Frank's hometown boys. But as we say all the time, hockey is a sport like literally who's the best on that night is going to get the job done and get the win. So it's crazy. I mean, we're going to bring a lot of these upsets to you guys, and there's sure to be a lot through this long season.
Yeah, early times. Denver, you know them. They're champions. They'll always be there in the end. It's a long season, especially with any team. Chemistry takes time, and especially with the new rules, NIL, with the transfer portal. Lineups are changing every single season and sometimes every single week. We have a lot of guys on the Division I level that we talk to pretty frequently, and they're an expression of that. Every team, like a business now more than ever, is trying to win every week, every weekend. There's A+ recruits that are, just being shifted in and out of the lineup because of the fact that every team is trying to win every week. So early times, we'll keep talking about the upsets. I think it's awesome. I think it's showing the balance of the smaller programs being able to really get some great recruits that are seeing that it isn't the size of the school, it's what they can offer them as players, especially now with the influx of information, being able to have a lot of data to make a lot of really educated decisions on the next move for themselves. It helps to also have bullet in the chamber with the NIL situation and just being able to have a really good opportunity to maybe enter a really cool sponsorship with that respective school. We all know hockey players, right? They want to play and they're going to go anywhere where they can play. And I love guys, and we've talked to them all the time, that make decisions based on the fact that, hey, I want to go here because I'm going to play. And if I play, I'm confident in my abilities to show that I can really make a difference. And it's not just the blue bloods. I feel like college hockey is evening out, and it's exciting to see.
Really well said, Frankie. I think you're 100% right. And I think just with the talents just keep coming from over the border, especially, it's gonna even out across the board. And it's awesome. And, on that same topic, BU, MSU, absolute dogfight in just like two amazing squads. BU, obviously amazing. Friend of the podcast, Brandon Sabota, getting after it out there. Frank, as he likes to call himself, the Mako Eagle, was getting after it. It was nuts. What is
I
up
watched
with the
the
animal sounds in this pod?
I'm inspired. I'm inspired today, but we talked about it. I caught Friday's game end to end, locked myself in a room, turned it on. ESPN picked it up. Other games I couldn't watch because ESPN Plus. Conversation for another day. But Friday, the game was action packed from the beginning. Michigan State jumped on a couple errors from BU early, ended up paying for it. But our boy, Brandon Swoboda, the Mako Eagle, like I said, Friday night, just mixing it up towards the end of the game, just sending a message in a Saturday night's game. But no, I mean, it's like what we just talked about. The speed of college hockey, it's the best of the best, and it's only going to continue that way. It's exciting to watch the energy, the coverage now, and the awareness of college hockey. It's exciting to see the growth and continual growth of it. So yeah, I mean, Clash of the Titans. Are you not entertained? Because that's what I was feeling. Because it was. I mean, Nightingale's got the boys playing heavy on the Spartans are a legit team. Strammel, that guy is an absolute maniac. He's a player for sure. So they lost some guys too. Porter Martone, thank ya. What a player.
Stud.
Rip one off the crossbar.
Stud.
Missile. But it's gonna be exciting to see who's there. It's gonna be a good season, Logan. I can't wait to see how the dominoes are gonna fall.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Next segment, Bud, Are You Serious? Brought to you by Buddy Hockey Club. I know you guys saw it. This was unreal when I thought it was fake, but Ilya Kovalchuk, former NHL player, now I think he ended his career in the KHL, but a lot of years in the NHL. His wife just hiked 14 of the most renowned peaks in the world, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that he himself had a great career, has a great family. Now his wife is like, that was nice. Let me just do this and just be in the news and just show you that, hey, I can hold my own too. So I think it's amazing. Their kids are probably going to be scaling mountains at, probably like 16 and just climbing Everest like she just did. So amazing, amazing news. And it was just amazing to see.
So cool. Not much more to say about it other than it's so awesome. I mean, Kovalchuk, absolute legend of the game. It's just so cool. I always love seeing those fun facts.
Next, Jaromir Jagr, 53 years old, Logan, laced it up to begin his 38th year of professional hockey. This guy is an absolute beast. Dating myself here a little bit, but I remember watching Yags and Lemieux just tearing it up on the Penguins. Early 90s, had the old Jofa helmet with the werewolf curl flow perm thing coming out the back. He was epic. Okay. He had the socks over the tendon guards before that was a thing, and the black toques, fashion faux pas. No, but
Black
still, Jagr was an absolute maniac, and it's so amazing to see even his perspective on the game after everything that he's achieved, the Stanley Cups, the records, everything that has in his career. He still loves to play the game, and I think even in the interviews that he has, it's just about him like a little boy playing the game that he loves. And it's kind of similarities to Gordie Howe, right? Like Gordie Howe was playing well into his older years, but they always used to ask him, why are you still playing? He's like, because I love it. And it wasn't because of anything other than that. And I think when you strip it all down, we love this game. We love to play it. Even when the competitive days are done, you still love it. There's a reason why we're connected by this game. So it was amazing to see. Yags, you're killing it, brother. I love you.
That's all I can say to that too, Frank. I mean, I love Yags, bro. He's the best. He's such a legend. And to be playing just the simple longevity of your body, of the human body, outside of, just hockey, like to have your human body last that long to play that high intensity hockey, professional hockey, now what, probably 40 years? It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And I think what you said too, the love keeps him around, very much so. And it's what keeps all of us around.
There's stories, well-known stories of Jagr. He would ask the rink managers and the people that would run the rink. He would go in there at midnight and he would be skating, working on skills. But that just shows you, right? There's no surprise in why he is who he is. And I love hearing stories like that. Kind of like Rod Brindamore, was a complete gym rat. They would have to lock him out of the gym because he wanted it so bad. There's a reason why great players are great. And guys like this are just another example of just the amazing greatness that they've achieved through the course of their career. So next, I know we've been talking about it. Hockey Sty, the walk-ins, no dress code. We're excited about it. Why? Because we're associated with a clothing company, Buddy Hockey Club, new drop coming soon. Tell you more about that later. But the walk-ins, no dress code. These boys are looking good. They're looking better, Logan, than they are. Big Willie Styles stepping up his game. Another multi-$1,000 outfit walking in. I will say what was a nice little surprise, Vlad Guerrero from the Toronto Blue Jays walked in with the Austin Matthews jersey. So it was a nice little flip dress code. That was going a little viral on the internet. So I love to see the support for the baseball guys as they go deeper in the playoffs too, showing love for Poppy.
Yeah, I can't wait till Buddy Hockey's in those walk-ins and those NHL walk-ins. It's going to be awesome. No, but like we always say, it's going to become these personalities and who these guys are is going to become such a big part of what hockey is, just to be like the same other big three sports in the United States of America. So it's awesome and really excited to see how that develops. I love the Leaf style. I'm biased.
Oh, yeah. Just a couple notes that we wanted to touch on. The human side of the game, right? Like we are all about us as hockey players more than the game. We're humans. humans, and you always hear some news and you always want to talk about it because you feel for the players, for their families, and for themselves as well. A particular thing we wanted to talk about is Brandon Montour, amazing player for the Seattle Kraken, stepping away from the game for personal reasons, and we can't wish him anything but the best. We are all humans. We can't wish him anything more than a speedy recovery in regards to making sure that he's healthy, but also mentally healthy. And the mental side of the game is what fuels our fire as players. And you just want to make sure that everything is firing on all cylinders. And I know he's going to take that step away, but we hope him, I'll come back really soon. But I will say, it's amazing and very refreshing to have the mental health program the NHL has developed. Having that, I feel, is such a crucial element. But I also think that being okay with not being okay, being able to talk about the fact that the mental side of the game, if it isn't there, you have an outlet and you have the support to say, you know what, I got to step back a little bit for myself, and really taking priority and accountability, for that in your life to make sure that you're a balanced human. And it's an amazing initiative that the NHL has really made really accessible for players, and I can't say enough about it.
You hit the nail on the head, Frankie. It's been a big stigma to, get pushed through it and, be that hard guy to keep going through everything. I'm glad that it's coming out more for athletes across every sport, not just hockey, but it's definitely, more of a stigma to, not really talk about those things. And, it's refreshing to see some of these athletes, kind of be vulnerable about that and know that they're not the superheroes that you see every single day on the ice, that they're just humans too.
Yep. We're going to end on a happy, happy, happy note. Nick Foligno, obviously an all-time professional. He stepped away from the game as well. It was a lot due to a surgery that his daughter needed. So again, these amazing guys being there for their families. But news came out that he is going to come back. We're so happy for him, his family, and just being able to take care of his family, but feel great that everything on that level is taken care of to where he can come back to the game that he loves. So Nick Foligno, amazing guy. Just he's been a captain at the NHL level and the ultimate leader as well. So good to see him back.
Yeah, sending love and prayers to our old Columbus Blue Jackets captain. He's done some awesome things and is hopefully primed for a good comeback after everything is all said and done with that. Prayers up.
All right, Logan, we got a good interview this week. Sammy Nelson, U.S. National Development Team stud forward, Notre Dame commit, is going to be finishing the trifecta playing with his two brothers that are playing at Notre Dame currently. But I love this interview, being able to step behind the curtain a little bit into one of the most prestigious programs in the U.S., competing in the USHL. But it was nice to see a really good kid that has a really amazing story, a journey as well. And that's what we're all about, the journey. And, tell us a little bit about what it's like playing for the national development team, but also the consistencies of his hockey journey, growing up with brothers, growing up with big brothers, just getting, feisty with a lot of the games that they were playing growing up, but also being incentivized and pushing each other along the way. So that was really nice to hear.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. Sammy's such a good kid. He's really got a bright future ahead of him. He's a stud of a player, and the national development team has just unbelievable, of course, facilities and everything of that nature. But I think a culture is what they've established there. And that culture is advancement and development for these kids. And it's, always an honor to wear that USA across your chest. I mean, me being United States kid, it's the biggest honor, but it's so much more than that to them. They really push these players to the next level. And, Sammy has an awesome story, finishing the trifecta. I like that at Notre Dame. And, that's just got to be a dream come true, not only for him and his brothers, but also his parents going through that whole process. And it's so awesome. We can't wait to see Sammy tear it up in the NHL one day. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And, you guys will hear it, but, spoiler alert, the unsung heroes, again, are the key focus and core of this whole story. The parents, right? The sacrifice, everything that a hockey parent does for one kid, let alone two, let alone three. We love to talk about it because it needs to be something to be focused on, but also celebrated. Hockey parents are it's the most unselfish job in the world. And I love to see, and I can only put myself in a position where being able to see your child living out their dream, but also on the biggest stage. And more than that, multiple children. I'm sure it causes havoc, like obviously choosing who you're going to cheer for, which he kind of talks about as well. But I think being able to just be in that moment with your kids is so special. And again, hockey parents, we will continue to celebrate you. We love you. We can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us, but also for all the next generation of players coming up.
It's just such a pleasure and an honor to be involved in this game. I think about it all the time. It's just amazing to do what we do. And this podcast was just another example why we're really excited, Frankie. I mean, this is a good one. USA, I'm excited, of course, biased, but we really hope that you guys enjoy this podcast. Sammy Nelson, USA National Development Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Locker Room Life podcast. Honored to be joined by the stud forward for the U.S. National Development Team program, Sammy Nelson. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So like we do with everybody, we like to go through the journey, right? How did you get into hockey? Obviously, we know the family roots, but just yourself with hockey, when did you fall in love?
So my dad built an outdoor rink in our backyard, and I feel like my brothers were out there, so I always wanted to be out there with them. And then ever since then, I've just loved the game and always wanted to play. That's how it started.
Yeah, man. Growing up in Minnesota, hockey's everywhere. How was it for you, growing up? I mean, especially in Maple Grove as well, an amazing, amazing program, and just kind of going through the ranks there.
Yeah, it was great. So obviously I have two older brothers, and I love going to the rink, watching them play with all their great teammates that came out of there too, and playing with all my buddies every day. Great spot.
Nice. So you've had a good trajectory in your hockey career thus far. When was that moment that, when you're playing hockey and you're like, look, I can play at this high level?
Yeah, I feel like end of Squirts, first year Pee Wee, I realized that I can play at high levels. Started playing summer hockey with some better kids and realized that I fit in. So ever since then, just started realizing that I can play at a high level.
Man, when I was a Pee Wee, I was dust. I was not good as a Pee Wee. The last thing I'll ask you kind of about growing up around that culture of Minnesota hockey, how was the culture and the atmosphere and just kind of, everyone's always talking about it and leading up, it's the state tournament. We had the pleasure of going this past year, and it's hockey haven, and it's really what everyone looks forward to.
Yeah, it's unreal. Everyone's looking forward to the state tournament all year. Everyone's talking about it. You're getting ready, gearing up for that, and you just want to win it. That's all you want to do.
Everyone says that the Minnesota hockey recipe is the best. Why do you think that is? Is it systematics? Is it just the way that it's set up?
I think it's set up greatly. You're just playing with your buddies you go to school with. You don't play with random people from your state. You're just always with your buddies. So growing up playing with them, you really get good connections with them and have good chemistry. So I feel like that's a good way leading up to high school that you do well with.
Yeah. Every guy we've talked to from Minnesota has kind of said that same thing. I mean, in Michigan, obviously it's a hockey hotbed, but these kids are bouncing from Little Caesars to Honey Bake to OJG, and it's not conducive to, the chemistry, like you said. So it's super awesome. And obviously your brothers, you mentioned them already, just absolute studs. How has it been, kind of watching them flourish in their hockey career and now at Notre Dame and just seeing their success thus far?
Yeah, it's been great. Just always love going to the rink, watching them, sitting there with, there's a few younger brothers that I'd sit with who just watch them play and try and pick up on things they do, add them to my game, make me better.
I was always envious of guys that had older brothers because I had a sister and it was just like, oh. But anyways, no, I love her to death. But growing up especially in that household with two older brothers that were studs, and you talk about kind of like how that, incentivized and really motivated you as well, but also pushed you.
Yeah, definitely. Out in the garage, we have a lot of shooting competitions. Gets gritty out there. Some fights sometimes. Depends if you lose or win, but always try and come out with the dub in that. But yeah, it's always great. Always pushing each other, trying to make each other better. So it's a good time.
Yeah, man. Did your parents play at all? You said your dad put a backyard rink in.
Yeah, he played in high school a little bit, but nothing other than that. So yeah.
Nothing like the stud boys coming through. But it's super cool. And I mean, a question that I had, leading up to your selection year for the national team, how was that year leading up to there and the jump to that level and playing against these guys? And of course, what an honor it means to wear the USA across your chest.
Start of the year, wasn't really thinking about much. And then then obviously you see them come watch your games and stuff. So you start to think about it a little bit. And then as soon as I got the invite, it was a pretty special honor. And then finished out my season there, came out, had a great tryout, made the team, and been here ever since. And yeah, it's definitely an honor wearing the USA jersey every day because you never know when the next time could be.
You've reached, that's an accomplishment that a very small population of players get to achieve. And we talked a little bit about your parents, and kind of, we always like to talk about the parents' sacrifice, and they're kind of the unsung heroes in all of our hockey journeys, right? Kind of talk about, your parents and kind of, the sacrifices and everything they did for all three of you, because it's just, it's a lot.
Yeah, I definitely spend a lot of money driving us everywhere, a lot of hotels. It's great. They drive me to the rink every night when I was back playing at home, and just appreciate them so much for that, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, man. It's literally something that comes up on every podcast we talk about, just, how much our parents mean to us as being hockey players our whole lives up until we started to be dust. They're very, very important. I wanted to kind of peel back the onion a little bit on USNTDP. What is it like to be in that locker room, the culture that you guys have there? Just such a winning culture and, advancing culture. They're always, the top players in every single year they're there.
Yeah, it's unreal. All we want to do is win here, and going against each other every day in practice it's fun. Some fights happen sometimes, but it's all good in the end. And yeah, we're just trying to get better every day, and you're going against the best players. So it's easy to do here.
As you make that jump, and you made that jump to Team USA, what were the biggest kind of adjustments that you felt like in your game? Because we were at the Fall Classic watching you guys against Fargo, and I'm telling you, man, it was ramped up and you guys were buzzing. So like kind of just in regards to your game, your overall game, to kind of bring it up to that level and that adjustment.
Yeah, it was definitely a big jump coming from Bantams to here last year, because the speed is just in a different level, and the pace and just the quick plays people make. So yeah, you just got to adjust your game, find ways to make plays and stuff and get better. So yeah.
Yeah, man. We had the pleasure of seeing you out there. We also watched, Frank, who was that second game again? Who was the second game against you guys played in the Fall Classic?
When they completely annihilated
Lincoln
Stars. I'm sorry.
When Sammy nipped on that poor Tendy. But no, we watched both of NTDP's games, and obviously they're the must-see team every single time that comes around. And your game kind of, it just shows you pulled the heaviness out of your back pocket. You pull the heavy game, and you also have the shot and the scoring ability to keep backing that up. So what I wanted to ask was, do you think that you had to change some things in your game since coming to the USHL, or has it been kind of the same mindset?
It's been the same mindset. I've always been a shooter my whole life, so always trying to get pucks in net, but definitely adding more physicality and that type of stuff to my game, because you got to play heavy in the USHL or else you're going to get knocked off pucks easily and stuff. So just got to be stronger.
So playing in the USHL, playing in all the memorable games that you've played in thus far, what are kind of some key moments that are just building some amazing memories through your hockey journey thus far?
This year, especially playing at Western Michigan, that was a pretty amazing atmosphere. And then playing at home against Notre Dame, playing against both my brothers was pretty sick. Never played with or against them, so that was pretty cool. Unreal feeling going against them, but battling it out, which was great.
Were you guys chirping or what?
Yeah. A lot of chirps.
Dan, it must be really surreal for your parents. I mean, all your friends and family, just being able to see that. It's just like such a full circle moment. It's awesome.
Yeah, we had a pretty good crowd that came out to watch, so it's good to see all them. Parents were excited to watch. Didn't know how to cheer for, but
no, that's awesome. So now we move into kind of the next decision on the next phase of your life, right? I know your brothers are there. I know, obviously, made some interesting conversations at the dinner table and collectively with everybody, making this decision. But take us through, because it's a very unique situation. I'd love to hear your perspective on how do you kind of just say, hey, look, I'm choosing the right place for myself as well. It would be great to play with my brothers, and that was probably a huge part of it. But also in your mind, like, what was your kind of mindset in going into that process, and also choosing Notre Dame?
Yeah, so obviously they're there, so they were trying to convince me a lot, but I just wanted to find a place that would work for me, and I explored my options and found that Notre Dame would be the best fit for me, so decided to go there.
Yeah, man. Is it obviously past your family being there? You think obviously the campus is amazing, the rink is amazing, the coaching staff. What really stuck out to you when making that decision more than anything?
I think when I visited there, like the team culture they had was really just amazing. All the boys just love being around each other. So I feel like that kind of sold me there to go there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're taking yourself, I know you're concentrating on this season, you're taking yourself into next year a little bit, just thinking about it. I know you're thinking about it just a little bit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What excites you aside from the amazing things that college hockey? It's electric, everything about it. But what's the couple things that are exciting you about next year?
I think just getting to the college life will be fun. And
Yeah.
obviously going to all the different barns around the Big Ten and different non-conference games will be pretty exciting to see different atmospheres and how that will play out.
Like me and Frank say, it's a wild, wild west right now in the
Mhm.
NCAA with kind of everything ever changing. It's going to be very, very interesting to see, how competitive it's going to be in the next 2-3 years of just the best kids from all over the world competing against each other. But obviously you're staying present. You want to take this season and really take over this year. But what are you doing to prepare for that next level, whether it's on the ice, off the ice, mentally? Is there any key things you're doing?
Yeah, obviously on the ice, just working hard, different skills and stuff. And then definitely a big part is in the gym, working out every day, getting stronger because guys are bigger, faster, and stronger. So you got to be able to compete out there for the full 60 minutes. So yeah, definitely working on that will be great for next year.
That's awesome. And the next generation is listening. We got a lot of younger, listeners and again, us as players as well. We wish that we had some really good resources to kind of hear from guys like you that are very high caliber, accomplished players. What are some obstacles along the way that it just made this journey a little bit tougher, but when you reached the pinnacles and the great moments that made it just all worth it?
Going back to the summer hockey, playing against some of those good guys, sometimes they're going to be better than you. You got to fight a little bit harder than they do just to catch up to them. And then once you catch up to them, keep working harder to get past them and just become the best.
Yeah. Is there, when you say become the best, is there anything mentally that you're doing off the ice to get you set for games, to keep you set away from the rink? Just would love to have a peek into, the mental mindset.
Not a ton. I just like to watch a lot of hockey, watch a lot of highlights, goal scoring. That gets me in the right mindset before games. Wanted to score some goals.
You are the new age hockey player.
Inspirations also through this long hockey journey. You've played for a lot of great coaches. You've had a lot of amazing people, your parents, everybody in your life that has kind of helped you along and supported you along this way. Who are some people that are really influential in your life and to your hockey journey to get you to this point?
Yeah, so I'd say Kurt Hallstrom. He's my Bantam coach before I made this team. He's been a family friend my whole life. And what he taught me 2 years ago before coming here, just good life lessons and becoming a better person off the ice than you are on the ice, which he taught us a lot about, which was good coming here to become in this good environment, to be just a good guy to everyone and want to be teammates with them.
Who inspires you, Sammy?
Austin Matthews does.
Same here. Same here when I
Yeah.
played. Definitely my favorite player. And do you try to emulate your game a little bit after him?
Just a shot, like his shooting ability, scores a lot of goals.
Oh, yeah, we know that, man. For someone who wants to be in Sammy Nelson's shoes in however many years down the road, if they're listening to it, what do they have to do and advice that you would give to this younger generation of what it takes to be where you are right now?
Yeah, I think some days you're not going to want to do anything, especially in the summer. You just got to find a way through it, work hard every day, and take advantage of every time you step in the ice or in the gym. And then do a lot of extra work, shooting pucks, stick handling, all that stuff will help you get there.
What is the importance and patience through this process, Sammy? A lot of people, especially in this common day, want everything. They want the success, want everything now.
Mhm.
What is the importance of, especially you and especially, where you're playing, the importance of following through the process, being regimented and making sure that you're just handling everything every day?
Yeah, some days you're going to fail, but that's good because that shows you're having growth in your game and you don't want to always be perfect because then you're just going through the motions kind of. So you want to fail a little bit. And I think that's a big piece of like every day here, go through the process these 2 years. And I feel like that's a big part of getting to where you want to be at the end of the 2 years, be a lot better.
To that same question on the flip side, how important is consistency to that process and, going at it every single day? Like you said, not really taking those days off when you want to.
Yeah, you got to be dialed in, day out. Come to the rink ready to work, even if you're not feeling the best or down in the dumps or something, but you just got to find a way through.
I know we had a little bit of time to spend with you over in Pittsburgh, but we're going to ask you a kind of updated question. Some beauties in the locker room. Like, who's really getting the boys going? What's the vibe right now? And kind of just, who are the clowns in there that just keep it light, keep it fun, keep the boys laughing?
Go Lucas Zajic and Parker for Trotch. Yeah. He's done the music, so he gets the boys going with that stuff. And Trot's always yelling and hooting and hollering, so get the boys riled up.
Yeah, Zage wasn't playing around at the Fall Classic. Me and Frank, he was not playing around. If anyone touched his teammates, he was going after him. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Loved it.
He's a beast.
Advice for a young Sammy Nelson, a younger Sammy Nelson. What is your advice to him? And more importantly, what's your advice to just the younger generation that are trying to get where you are today?
Just stick with the process, what we've been talking about. It's going to be tough every day, but growing up, you just got to work hard and you'll find a way if it's meant to be.
Yeah, man.
Nice, man.
You want to do rapid fire, Frankie?
Yeah, so we'll lighten it up a little bit, Sammy. We're going to do some a little bit of rapid fire questions. Just keep it light, keep it, keep you laughing, and hopefully get some good little answers and kind of get some laughs. All right, first hockey jersey you ever owned?
Nico Koivu, Minnesota Wild jersey.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. This is a funny one. You don't have to answer entirely, but the best trip you've ever heard on the ice. Or who is it from?
I don't know if I can say that on camera, but I've heard some good ones through the days.
Yeah. What is your go-to show or movie that when Sammy's at home just relaxing, wants to unwind, what are you turning on?
Go Outer Banks or some good golf YouTube.
Love that.
Good
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you a video gamer at all? You play video games?
Yeah, Fortnite. Fortnite guy. Yeah, love playing Fortnite.
So are the boys into it, or you guys get to? You guys are hard into it.
All the boys.
Yep,
2v2s every night. Yeah.
Stay dialed. You heard it.
Good time.
You heard it. Team USA, Fortnite.
All right. Favorite hockey movie?
Miracle.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. You're living it every day, buddy. So
imagine you said like Goon or something. Oh no. If you could trade places with an athlete in another sport, or what other sport would you want to be a professional in?
Ooh, Scotty Scheffler. Want to be number one in the world in golf.
Yeah.
I love golf. Super fun.
I could see in your living room watching all like those golf clips, just imagining.
Just chipping, doing the chipping in his living room while he's watching the golf clips.
Mom's always yelling not to hit the TV.
All right. This is the ultimate hockey player decision question. Would you rather score an OT game-winning goal or block a shot to win a game?
Gotta go block the shot to win the game.
I like that.
That's an ultimate team guy. Sammy Nelson's a team guy, right?
Yeah.
And I also wanted to wrap up the rapid fire with this question. You know, from your time, whether it be being in Minnesota or now, what is the pinnacle hockey moment that you think you've been through?
I think playing in the state tournament, Bantams, Maple Grove was pretty special, but didn't end up winning, but had a great time.
Sammy, who do you want to thank out there, all the people through all this hockey journey? This is your opportunity to call them out and say, hey, thank you for everything that you did, or that you appreciate them in your life.
Definitely my parents, my family for sure. Always being there for me if I need them. All like coaches haven't had and growing up, just teaching me all the stuff I know now, and definitely all my teammates, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be where I am now today either.
Yeah, man.
There it is. Sammy Nelson, buddy, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we're just happy to see your success thus far, but we know that this is only scratching the surface. So thanks for taking the time, especially in season.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Had a great time.
Our brother.
Good, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for Sammy Nelson taking the time in season for joining us on the Locker Room Life podcast. Super amazing kid, such a bright future ahead of him, but more importantly, the journey, right? The consistent thing that we have all in common as hockey players is the journey. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you played, where you're playing currently, the drive, the dedication, sticking to the process, believing in yourself. Those are all the consistent factors. And again, Sammy playing at a high level, high future, University of Notre Dame coming soon, but just such a good kid. And he is having fun being an amazing player at this age. And I love it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's awesome. Like, we got the chance to sit down with him at the USHL Fall Classic, and that's where we met him the first time. So it was awesome to be able to, get this long form and get really an insight behind the scenes into what he did growing up. I mean, growing up in that household has to be nuts. I could never even imagine, but he's really gotten through all of that and has come out the other side of it as an amazing, amazing player that is going to do some awesome things. And, Frankie, it just wouldn't be possible at all. It wouldn't be permitted without, our amazing sponsors of the Locker Room Life podcast, Buddy Hockey Club, Best damn tape in cut shield hockey. As we always say, we're so blessed to be able to do this. And I can't thank you guys enough. And I know Frankie will want to give you thanks too.
Yeah, just a capper on another great episode. So blessed for the people that continuously support us. Again, the kind words, just people that say that they love it. I mean, that means so much to us. And we believe that our whole sole purpose is to bring everybody together, bring the community together, bring this amazing hockey community together that we're all part of. And we're going to continuously do it. So thank you guys. We love you.